Hello, everyone across Central Florida and especially over there on the Space Coast. I'm Ron Lighthall, and we are here at Tom's Watch Bar high atop Orlando here on International Drive. And we have an incredibly special time right here because we are guests of the Orlando Storm, and part of that is bringing out the hype team. They are here, and these ladies, I got to tell you, we interact with them. They're on the field. They work so hard. It is so hot on the field. And man, they make it look so easy. Go ahead and tell us your name.
My name is Isa.
Isa. We watch you guys obviously from the field, and you guys are just amp, and you get that crowd fired up. You really build the atmosphere. Tell me a little bit about what your background is, how you got to be a part of this awesome team.
My background, I'm a dancer. I've been a dancer my whole life, and then I got into some acrobatics too and cheer recently. And we submitted online, and we had an online interview, and then we got the email saying that we were going to be part of the team, and it was really exciting to be part of the inaugural team, and we have a great experience together. Yeah.
You guys spend a lot of time down in the end zone with the really hyped up fans there on the end zone. Tell us a little bit about the team. How many are there of you? And you guys just an amazing job. How many are on the team? And tell us a little bit about the practice schedule that you guys follow, and then how you're so ready for game day.
On the team,
there's 13 of us on the team.
13, yes. Cool. And we have at least one practice a week. And yeah, I mean, it's like a really good experience. We have such a fun time out in the field. We do different choreographies, and then we do our sideline routines. It's really fun. Yeah.
You guys, again, you guys just do an amazing job, and you're out there. It does get hot out on the field.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you get that temperature, and you get the movement of the shade. So you guys also do things, and you work with the outside of the stadium as well. So you guys do special events. Tell us about those experiences.
So I would say this is my first special event, and this has been a great experience so far to be here with you guys.
That's awesome. Terry, I'm going to hand this microphone over to you because you have another one of these lovely young ladies that just, it's the energy they bring to the stadium.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of energy, Ron. And everyone see them on the field, but oftentimes they don't get a chance to know these ladies' names. So we're going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself as well.
My name is Erin.
Erin, so when you got that call, because you all had to audition to become on the team, what was your initial feelings when you found out that you were accepted, and how strenuous was the process?
I was incredibly excited. So I'm an Orlando native. I've grown up around sports teams, especially in Orlando, my entire life. And for the longest time, one of my dreams was to be a dancer for the Orlando Magic. And that hasn't happened yet, but this is a really great stepping stone to that. So I was incredibly excited to get that call. And it has been a really, there's a lot of time commitment for the process. Our rehearsals are about 3 hours long, and we're working that entire time, whether it's on specific stunts or on learning the new choreography, fixing blocking, figuring out who's in what game, since we can only have a certain number on the field at all times, and working with everyone's schedule. So it's a lot of work, but it's an incredible payoff.
And you and I had an opportunity to talk offline, and you was telling me about what you do out of, being one of the Storm front runners. So tell the world a little bit about what you do as well.
I've been a dancer my entire life, but I'm also a performer at Universal. So I also do stilt walking as well. That's what my passion is performing and bringing the hype and energy to everywhere that I am, whether it's the arena or whether it's the theme park.
So there's a lot of young girls. They're sitting up, they're watching you all, both of you lovely ladies. What would you tell these young ladies who are looking up to you all and want to be cheerleaders and live out their passion? What would be your answer to them?
Get in dance classes, start taking cheerleading classes, get in those clinics, and just follow your dreams, because it doesn't matter how many people get in your way until if you have the passion to do it and it's your dream, you will find your way there one way or another.
All right, you heard it, follow your dreams. So I'm going to let you answer that too, because you were looking like you were ready to answer that, and I love it because a lot of people need to hear from everyone, and so two different perspectives, that would definitely be a great thing as well.
Definitely start training. I would definitely agree with that. But you also never know what opportunity is going to come your way. This came out of nowhere to me. I've been auditioning for so many things, and once this came about, it was like such a surprise too, and it was just so exciting to finally get to be out in the field and doing what I love. And then this is also my first time actually like cheerleading out on the field too. So being able to throw stunts like for the first time in front of a crowd, it just has been absolutely amazing. So just keep going after it. You never know what kind of opportunities are going to come.
So Ron and I, we're too old to be out there cheerleading because of the way our age is set up right now. But I'm gonna pass it back over to Ron because that's what we do best as broadcasters. So we definitely appreciate you all for coming out as well. Here you go, Ron.
I definitely want to ask that there's always cheerleaders always have like a special skill, and they all uniquely you could be a flyer, you could be a basket toss, you can be I don't even know all the terminology, but each one of you has like a different unique ability. What is your special ability that you really think set you apart from all the other applicants?
I would say definitely the stunting. So like I said, I recently just started learning how to be a flyer to cheer. So that is like one of the different things that we get to do out in the field, and just cheer on the crowds and being able to say hi to people on the stands, which is really cool.
And yours?
Well, I've been a dancer my whole life, like I mentioned, so I think it's the combination of the dance experience. I also have leadership experience as well as hosting and speaking experience. So just kind of the combination of things to really engage the fans. So it's not just about our dance ability, it's not just about our cheer ability, it's also about the ability to hype up the crowd and really get everyone excited about the storm.
I'm going to ask you both one more question because this is something I have observed live at the game. During the t-shirt toss, is it as competitive as you guys make it look?
Oh my gosh, yes. Everybody is screaming their butts off, and it's just so fun to being like, who's going to scream louder and who really wants this, really being able to pick out, whoever's screaming the loudest has the most energy and just getting the
I have
crowd
seen
going.
you guys like outright wind up to launch that thing.
Oh yeah.
Somebody in the top row with a t-shirt.
We try our best.
Fantastic. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Give us one big cheer here for our people back in Brevard County. And there you have it. So, again, these cheerleaders are amongst the most talented people that we have in our young people here in Brevard County. They're out there, they're in the heat, they are out there on the field, making sure that environment for game day is absolutely electric. We can't encourage you enough to get out. This is the final home game, but Orlando inevitably could see a playoff game, and I'm not sure what the stadium situation is going to be there, but you got to get out. You got to see these young ladies. So, ladies, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So we're going to bring in some of our guests. Our next guest coming in, we're going to bring in some players. And so Terry, we're going to have you go get our next guest. Actually, so you got to go grab them. So, ladies, thanks for joining us. Thank you. So we want to tell you, the Hype Squad, if you get out there and you see them, you got to get your playoff tickets when they become available. And if not, get your tickets for tomorrow's game. It's not too late. These ladies do just such a fantastic job hyping up the squad. And I say these ladies, but there's also, they have a men's team as well. So, you got to get your tickets. You got to be a part of this, and you got to be a part of that energy because they hype up the crowd. And where there's a crowd, people go to see. And again, if you live in Brevard County, you got to come out to see this guy alone, man.
Very familiar face right here.
I'll let you hold that, Jashaun. A familiar name over there on the Space Coast, man. I got to tell you, working with Brevard Sports Network and following your career, we feel like we've known you since you were a little kid.
Yeah. No, it's definitely been a blessing just to have such supportive community behind me, and obviously I have my younger brother, my nephews coming. I have a tutelage of people coming up behind me, people that came before me. So it's just great to carry the Corbin name, especially coming from Brevard County. So yeah, it's been great.
And so I asked you before about how exciting it is to play in front of your family and play in front of your fans and friends who you grew up with.
Yeah.
Answer that one more time, because I think a lot of people don't get an opportunity to do that, and for you to actually play at Florida State at one time, and then also to now play with the Orlando Storm, how exciting is that?
Like I said, it's a blessing because when I get to come here, I get a sense of familiarity. You know what I mean? Just knowing the area. I've been obviously from Brevard, but been to Orlando a bazillion times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to be able to have my mom, my uncles, my close friends, everybody, friends, just coming to come to support me. You know, playing for Orlando team is great. Having 25 plus people at every game, you know what I mean, it's great. It honestly couldn't ask for a better situation.
Okay.
Coach Becht speaks extremely high of you, and it extends beyond your sheer talent on the field. He talks about you as a man and how you conduct yourself as a human being. He's extremely high. You had some real trials and tribulations early on in the season. You don't have to go into detail on that, but he spoke how you stayed in touch with the team and you motivated yourself. You were hitting the gym without without any structure with the team, and you were watching game film. Tell us how that affected you, knowing that you were going to be coming back on your time, and what that meant for you building that and then being welcomed back to a team.
It gave me like a sense of proving myself. You know what I mean? Obviously I had family situations going on, but I didn't want to be like coming in 2 weeks later and then everybody's like, oh, who's this guy? He's leading rusher last year. He thinks he could come in late. That's just me, like, in my head, just trying to give me some sort of, like, motivation. Obviously, I don't need all the motivation, but just added motivation to come in, show the guys that even though I've been away, I've still been connected. I've still been attached to the team, talking to Coach Art, Coach Beck, the OC, just tapping in with the guys and still trying to be as present as I can, even though I wasn't there physically. And then coming in and kind of trying to establish myself as one of the leaders, one of the guys who can show their talent off, and guys be like, okay, we see why he was a leading rusher last year and why he can step in and follow suit with what Coach Beck already put in line for everybody. So I wouldn't say that's just kind of who I am as a person, who I was raised to be. So it wasn't really anything out of the ordinary for me.
So the Storm, they're an expansion team. They're one of three. Mm-hmm. And you all are the first team in the UFL to clinch the playoff. Mm-hmm. And then now you have opportunity to host a playoff game. Mm-hmm. How important is that to the team, knowing that you can all win this thing? And has that been like the running theme for the players in the locker room?
Yeah, for us, it's kind of our biggest thing that we've after taking like the 2 losses was just getting back to being together. Like our biggest worry has been togetherness. And obviously, you know how it is with new expansion teams. Obviously, like the first years, I won't say they're not always the best, but they have struggles earlier on. But for us to be able to find success earlier on with new head coach, new staff, new players, it's just kind of pretty cool to see how we come together and obviously put ourselves in a position to have a guaranteed playoff game. But we still got to take care of business tomorrow with DC, who's a very explosive team. But we'll be ready.
Are we going to see a game where the Orlando Storm dominate the first half, or do we have to wait for the second half each and every game? And you're smiling because you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the goal. For like the last, 3-4 weeks, we've been spotting teams 10, 15 points, just kind of shooting ourselves in the foot earlier on and then having to climb up a tall mountain to get back into the game, which we've done, but it helps to not shoot ourselves in the foot and put ourselves behind the 8 ball. So that's definitely the goal: start fast, finish faster. So that's kind of where we're at.
So we know the goals for the actual Orlando Storm is to actually win the championship. But what are your personal goals?
Personal goal, obviously, I want to lead the league again. I know that's kind of like an ego thing, but I'm number 2 right now. But lead the league again, and then obviously put myself in position to go back to the NFL. That's the ultimate goal for me as a personal goal. And obviously, like winning the championship because I want to win. You know what I mean? Just me being a competitor. That's kind of where I see myself going, keep climbing this trajectory and going back to the NFL.
Last week was a wildly unique game, and it was so enjoyable to be a part of that game there in Fort Hood. When you saw,
and I have to tell you a story real quick,
Yeah.
and Terry knows where I'm going with this. The play immediately before Jack's run, Terry looked at me and
he said, "Man, if Jack just holds on to that ball and that bootleg, he's
yeah.
got it."
Yeah.
Sure enough, the next play, naked bootleg, and Jack goes 70 yards or
Yeah.
so. What was your reaction when you saw those wheels kick in at the end? Because I know, like, that's not part of the playbook.
Yeah.
That can't be something scripted.
No, I mean, he just made a great play. And he showed, like, his sneaky athleticism that we see, but all you guys might not be able to see, because he doesn't have a million opportunities to show him running 20-plus yards, you know what I mean? But I was on the sideline. I was running with him on the sideline. I was like, he's sliding. Like, he was, I don't know. It was just crazy to see him strike out like that, but it was also a great play call. And, he read it right. The ends were crashing on the inside zone, and he pulled it. And also great downfield blocking by Jashaun, Cam Camper, which kind of sprung the run. Stilly kind of sprung him and, blocking downfield, and he finished the rest. So great play call all around.
Yeah, there were a lot of memorable moments on the field that day. And one of the most that we laugh about a lot, and Orlando, we actually saw KJ when he took that jet sweep and went around and scored. And he was surprised by the cannon shot.
I don't know how.
Did you all give him some flack after that? Or how
yeah, because that wasn't like the first touchdown of the game. Like, you heard the cannon going off all game.
Yeah.
But I guess it probably sounded different.
It was
being right
in front of him there. Yeah.
But we laughed at him because we were like, why did he jump? But then we realized, like, the cannon shot off as soon as he crossed the end zone. But it was funny. It's something to look back on and be like, bro, you didn't have to do all that. But, yeah, that's funny.
Fort Hood was you guys played on the artificial turf. You did not play on artificial turf this year at St. Louis, the one and only team that offers any artificial turf. How did that affect you going from, you guys are playing on some beautiful turf. The stadiums you're visiting, Louisville was just incredible. That was like a carpet.
Yeah.
But how did that artificial turf affect your game? Because generally it lends itself to speed and you can make better cuts. But what adaptations did you guys have to make to play on that artificial turf?
Surprisingly, not much, because where we practice on turf. So it was kind of the same, I guess, style of field. Obviously, Fort Hood was gave you a little bit more. You can stick, and I guess you could feel like a little bit faster. But we practice on turf every day. We honestly like playing on grass because it just feels a little bit better on your joints. But at the end of the day, we're all ball players, so we're gonna play wherever.
And you guys, like I said, you guys have played on some beautiful turf. When you walk out there, were you as impressed with Louisville's turf as I was? It was absolutely, that blue grass was beautiful.
I think we got the best turf.
Yeah, okay, all right.
But it was.
I agree.
But it was definitely. All the venues have been great. Especially being, like in the soccer stadiums, it feels real personable. Whether we're away, especially when we're home, you can feel the crowd like right there on your back. But it's definitely nice venue.
Yeah, well, Jashaun, we definitely thank you for coming out and interviewing with us. Brevard County, you definitely have to come out.
Sure.
This is one of your own, and he definitely has a lot of still running left in him. So this is going to be exciting.
We have that buy one, get one ticket. So you can see, somebody can see him for free because, this is where you want to see. You want to see history. It's the inaugural year. This guy's going to break the record. He's going to take the #1 spot tonight and next week. Guaranteed, mark my words, because Terry's calling plays from the sideline, whether they're listening or not. And they have worked 100% so far this year. So, Jashaun, man, I can't thank you enough for being a part of this. And best of luck to you, man. This has been fantastic. And I know Brevard County is so proud of you. And when we interview you, and we had you at the pregame, our numbers were through the roof. So that's an indicator of the love that Brevard County has for you, man. So thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you guys, and go Storm.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
So that's Jashaun Corbin. He is right number 2 in the in the run for being one of the top running backs in the league, man.
Yeah.
And the personalities of these guys, they're having fun.
Yeah.
So they want to get to the next level. They want to be a part of this team, but they also want to show out. And that's, and I got to tell you, man, Terry, they got to mic you up because, you're making the calls this year. This is, this is about the 3rd or 4th time you've made a call that I think would have worked. So
one thing I do love is sports, and I love football, and you can see it. I know a lot of people do the Monday morning quarterback. This should have did this, should have done that. But when you can physically see it right there on the sideline
call it live,
and call it live, That's just something that's just a passion that I have for football.
And you nailed it. You're going to go get our next host. So our next guys, this one is what has me amped up because everybody who knows me, everybody in Brevard County knows you cut me open. Two colors are going to bleed out, black and gold. I am a UCF guy through and through, and I am pretty excited about our next guest here. Our first guest is Cole Schneider.
He's our bodyguard.
He's our bodyguard, so we're going to bring him in. We're told we're going to have two at a time, so a little bit right here. But Cole,
a night, man. Charge
on.
Charge on, man.
This is exciting. You are back home. You are playing in the soccer stadium in Orlando, and it was the league's mentality and goal to kind of put players where they belong to add to that hometown flavor. And yourself, as well as
Samuel Jackson. I keep wanting to say Samuel. Sam Jackson. I got to keep catching myself. But you and Sam Jackson are two UCF guys. You guys are tight. You're close, almost inseparable to a degree.
One way to put it.
It's good to have family and friends close and have this experience. Mm-hmm. So tell us what your experience has been so far with this inaugural season with the Storm.
Oh, it's been fantastic, man. I mean, I talked to a few people before. It's just kind of like coming back home. Like I feel like I'm going back to college again. With Sam being here, he was freshman roommate. We came at the same time. I was coming back here to the great city of Orlando, being able to play football with him again. It's just been pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, and you guys up front. You are probably one of the most least penalized team in the UFL, especially as it relates up front. How important was that for you all to make sure that you minimize those penalties you have?
Oh, it's huge, man. Because we won't have any setbacks. Especially pre-snap. We really harp on that throughout the week, throughout the season. We really want to harp on being the least penalized. We don't want to set ourselves back. We want to play against the other team, not against ourselves.
So you have made visits here to Orlando. It's time you're here. You've been out to UCF. I know letting them know, hey, your professional career could be that, but tell us a little bit about what it's like to go back to UCF and talk to those guys that when you were a freshman, what it felt like to sit there and your dreams and aspirations.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's I almost see them, myself and them. You know what I mean? Being in that situation, coming into college, being the best guy you were in your high school, and you're coming in, a lot of talented guys, a lot of expectations, and really just take a breath, soak it all in, and be a sponge. Be able to take in all the great words of wisdom from your coaches and role models all around you. Again, just do what you do, take it day by day. Really,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I know every player has every team has their goals. But what is your goal personally for yourself in the UFL and outside of the UFL?
I think everybody's goal in the UFL, really, whether they're coming from the NFL trying to get back or they haven't been there yet and they're trying to make that step forward. For me, it's just a great opportunity to put yourself out there and really to get good tape and keep playing the game that you love, and with basically the same goal-oriented kind of people around you. It's a great atmosphere. At the end of the day, that's the goal, is to get that next step going back to the NFL.
So what are you doing in the off season?
Jeez. My girlfriend's probably going to be buying more dogs. She loves dogs.
My wife's ears just perked up. Terry will tell you, man. He calls my dog Cujo, man. Beautiful dog, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I get my hands in a little bit of everything. I kind of want to figure out what I like outside of football. Because, playing football all your life, you're always like ingested in it. And in high school, I wrestled and played football, so it's a year-round thing. It's kind of time for me to kind of figure out who I am and what I'm about outside of football.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So there's a lot of kids that obviously look up to you, and they're going to be out here at the game tomorrow. Mm-hmm. If a kid came up to you and said, "Hey, can you tell me a little bit about what should I do to make my game better?" Mm-hmm. What would you answer? What would your answer be to them?
I would say, listen to your parents, eat your greens. But honestly, you gotta do that. But honestly, just never stop believing in yourself and don't stop dreaming.
You need to get yourself a little sweater when you do that. You'll go full Mr. Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
Sit down, kids. I want to ask you, every time we're out there, and Terry and I, we can't thank the Storm organization and the UFL as a whole. And I was a guest on a podcast, and I said that it seems like the UFL has the exact perfect people in every position. That from the leadership. That translates into a kind of a theme that you guys have. It seems like everybody is having fun. Is that a real thing? I mean, are those the real emotions? Because every time these guys are just having fun, pre-game, post-game, and you just imagine practices being fun but serious.
Yeah, no, I mean, you hit it to a T. We're having fun. Everybody out there, whether it's a hot day, it's super cold, it's raining, storming, everybody's out there having fun, man. Everybody's here. They're doing what they love. We appreciate each other. It's a very short-lived thing here, like a spring league football season, and everybody's here enjoying it. And I think that's a big key. Moving on later in the regular season, everybody's still having fun. Everybody's still locked in, has a great mindset, and it's one of those bigger keys of winning. Is everyone enjoying themselves, having a good time, and doing what they love.
I got one more question after Terry.
You can take it home.
I just want to get your reaction, because if you're like every other player that's played at UCF over the years, and I've been a fan a long time, and I have the distinction, I saw every game Dante Culpepper ever played in. So I'm dating myself, but also, I'm thumbing my chest a little bit. I've seen well over 230 UCF games home and away. I do want to say that the reaction from players is, and you just experienced this going back, and you see this massive construction. Do you sit there and sometimes think, man, they didn't have that when I was here?
Took the words right out of my mouth, man. Absolutely. I know they were kind of ever since I was in high school, they were having the plans built up for it. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait for that lazy river. I can't wait for this to come in. But seeing it all come to fruition now, and be able to go back and witness all the great things they're doing for this, all the sports teams there at UCF, and it's awesome, man. I just love them seeing trending in the right direction.
And seeing that Big 12 is a lot better than seeing that in the Can't thank you enough, man.
This has been Terry and
I have been thrilled to be a very small part of this, but all of our goals and all of our dreams and aspirations have just exploded into something that I never foresaw. That this was rolled out
for us, our little podcast that we have over in
Brevard County. We have our social medias. We're on Brevard
Sports Network. We're extremely proud to represent Brevard. To have the Storm and players come out and be our hosts is fantastic. So, man, thank you so much, man. You guys have been above and beyond.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Terry's going to go get our next guest.
A UCF guy. I think we're going to be bringing in is UCF guy. You heard how the fun these guys are having playing this game, and that's out on the field again. Our next guest, Samuel Jackson. He just goes by Sam Jackson.
Yeah. Just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, right?
That's Sam got to stick together.
What's in your wallet? Sam, thanks for coming out, man. And I was just saying to Cole how important it is for Terry and I that you guys have been so good to us and our little tiny podcast and what we've built it into. And this is big for us. So thank you and thank the team. And Cole's your counterpart, man. You guys are as thick as thieves. And it goes back to the UCF days. Tell us about some of Cole's really bad habits. No. He was talking about how much fun it is and having somebody he's so familiar with. So you guys are almost bonded like brothers. What is that experience like to be at the professional level and have that bond?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I think we're almost 10 years at this point knowing each other. And we played for a long time together, 5 years at UCF. So, it's a blast and something you don't really get to find a lot in the professional level. And so just being able to experience that and be with a guy that, I love so much and I just love being on the same team and playing with them, it's a blast. And it makes us like even better than it already was.
You saw that while you were at UCF with the Griffin brothers and how they got to play pro football together, so you know how important that was to them. Of course, you were much younger.
I was young.
Much younger, but you witnessed that, and that's part of UCF lore. So having that familiarity and that comfort level, you're not a stranger in stranger land when you bring your brother with you.
Very true, and obviously you have to count on all your guys on a football team, but having that guy that's basically like your rock, that that like he wants the same thing I want, it just makes you play better. It makes you more comfortable, and you saw that with the Griffin brothers, obviously.
What was it like seeing Plumlee out there in Houston, man?
It was awesome. I hugged him up after the game. I was really happy for him on his drive. I was a little bit more happy that maybe they put the other guy back in.
Yes. You know what though? Decker's had a blowout game a week later, so I don't know. Somebody knows something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it was a blast. I'm really glad he's here and he's able to play. He loves QB. That's the position he loves. So I'm glad, very happy to see him do that.
But you guys got a pretty good quarterback too, who also was named Offensive Player of the Week this week.
Yes,
so how's important, knowing that you block for him, how important is the technique and keeping him upright?
I mean, it's paramount. Obviously, O-line is it's a technique part of the field, and so just knowing you have a guy who's back there who we give him the time, he's going to make the right decisions, he's going to put us in the right positions, and it just makes it that much more important and makes us more locked in on what we need to do.
So Tom Brady and other quarterbacks, they usually give their offensive linemen like watches and things of that nature. Have you made your request yet?
No, I haven't requested it. I don't know if we have the budget for that right now. But maybe, I don't know, maybe Jack could buy us a meal.
Yeah.
But nothing yet.
Okay. So what was your take on his 70-plus yardage there? I mean, make the face that you made inside your helmet there.
I was blocking my guy, and then I was saw it. It was a reverse the other away from me kind of thing, and actually I kind of got swum on that play, which is funny to me. But because I keep replaying and I keep saying like, "Wow, that's a terrible block right there."
keep doing that.
Yeah.
Keep doing that because whatever you did worked.
Yeah. So I'm like looking, and I'm like, "Oh," I was like, Jack got loose, and I was like, weird angle, and I'm like, maybe he gets chased down here. I don't know. I was like, but we'll get like 40 yards. And he just kept running, and I was like, let's go. So immediately when I saw him break, I just started sprinting. And
then he tucked it up high, so he didn't. He didn't run. He called it the peanut punch. He said, I was aware of the peanut punch. So he brought that high and tight.
He did a great job, so I was happy. If we could do that tomorrow, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You guys.
He'll be offensive player again.
Yeah.
He'll probably have to bring the whole line with him.
Absolutely.
If he does that.
Yeah. I think he should bring us up there. Maybe just give us the ball. And he can sit down.
Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
You guys had a unique opportunity to play at Fort Hood.
Yeah.
How special was that to you?
That was awesome. So my grandpa was actually in World War II, and I didn't know about this until afterwards because I was talking to my mom about it. So my mom goes to like all the games, but she couldn't come to the Fort Hood game, obviously, because they're a military base. But she told me that like when my grandpa was training for World War II, that he was actually training in Fort Hood.
Oh wow,
that's where he was at. So
but
it was really cool. The people were super nice. We it was just like an all around cool experience. It's kind of weird because we drove up there that day, and then us in Dallas were eating in the same spot. Like, we're right. It's just like this. Right next to each other, and then like. We're the high school, and we're divided by we're in like a ballroom kind of, so it's like a big divider. We're right next to each other, so it was a really cool experience, and then just to kind of be like it's like Friday Night Lights all over.
Yeah.
So it was a blast, and the military personnel, they were all super nice and super cool to us.
Terry and I ran into you guys at Buc-ee's on the way back. We were coming out of Buc-ee's as you guys were going in.
had to make sure.
And I got to tell you, the faces on those guys, like watching people come into Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Buc-ee's is a thing for you guys.
Oh, yeah. We love Buc-ee's. We started the week prior when we played Houston. And so, Coach made sure once we got the win that we'd stop at Buc-ee's on the way back. So a lot of guys were happy. Yeah, a lot of guys were happy.
So you can't get Jack to at least spring for something from Buc-ee's for you guys.
I don't know. Maybe if you guys pressure him enough, you guys should.
Yeah.
You should.
So you talked about the experience at Fort Hood and how selective they were allowing people in. Terry and I were one of only 4 very select media allowed in, so we had that unique experience. So we share with you that unique. It is not lost on us how special that game was. But looking around and seeing all of the technical things that they had to overcome to really give you that pro-grade experience. I mean, they included the sky cam.
they didn't spare anything that they would find in a large scale stadium, including the digital board.
I was about to say, I was going into that game and I was like, oh, I'm going to have to stand up to watch the plays, or there's not going to be a Jumbotron. And I'm walking down the field, I'm like, they have a Jumbotron? What is this right now? So,
With a crane in front
yeah,
of
with
it.
a crane. And then, so I saw the TV copy, and it's like shot like the high school games, that the guy that's like right behind us and stuff. It was just a really cool experience to kind of be back in high school a little bit, but I wasn't really surprised about the Jumbotron being there. But,
Yeah, and they had one on each corner.
Yeah.
They brought in the temporary ones, and the things that they overcame, and they had it looked great on television. But I do want to touch on, did the lighting have any effect on you guys? I know you're laughing, but that seemed to be the one thing that I mean, when that sun was going down over that horizon line in the open end zone, that was tough.
I was gonna say, obviously, linemen in trenches, we don't really need to see that much far in front of us, right? So but when I came out to the field, I was like, man, it kind of feels dark right now. And then I started looking, I realized it was only four lights
on the floor.
I was like trying to think back. Usually there's like probably about like 4 each side, like 8. So it was definitely. I noticed it was dark, and then I was kind of like sitting there. I was like, man, I hope our receivers aren't wearing any like dark tinted visors or anything like that. But I mean, good for them being able to adjust. Because I know obviously we still make plays in the air and stuff. So that was definitely fun.
Social media is the space where you really can like smack talk people and people talking about the facility. So I was very defensive. It's like, hey, they're on a military base and they're talking about the stadium, and I said, well, you know what? There's not a military base at their stadium, but this stadium was at their military base. So I mean, they worked with what they had. So you guys got to be proud of that. You guys, made a show of it. I'm going to ask you what we asked Cole and what we asked Jashaun as well is, are you guys going to show out in the first half at any point in this season? Because you are a second half team. We've gone back. I mean, are we ever going to build like an insurmountable lead in the first half?
I mean,
that's the goal.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Let's do that tomorrow.
Hats off to the hero. We'll just kick it off with that.
Yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow, and I think it's coming. It's definitely coming. But whoever gets the job done, I guess.
Right.
I won't complain about winning, but I feel you. I'm coming out first half.
Yeah, well, we thank you. We definitely appreciate you coming out. Good luck tomorrow. It's hats off to the heroes. And that was a great story you shared about your grandfather as well. So
I do have to ask my UCF question because I asked it of Cole.
What's up?
You come back to Orlando. You've given back to UCF. I'm a diehard fan.
Yeah.
Lots of games. Do you have the same reaction when you go back that every other player has had about the expansion and the stuff that's there that wasn't there when you were there that you wish was there?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's you love seeing a place that you kind of help build. I mean, obviously, me and Cole came in after the Baylor years and stuff, so they were already kind of on the uptrend, and then we come in as our first year, so the undefeated year. So being a part of that foundation that helped make UCF what it is today, it's really cool to see everything that's happening. I mean, guys don't know this, but our practice field, the field that's now the second field, used to be our we used to call that the playground, because it was just this dirt parking lot.
Wow.
I mean, it was grass, but it was just we basically went out there. It's where all the O-line toys were at, kind of thing. So, but they don't have that anymore. They just have a nice.
I'm going to age myself, but I remember when the football facility was the Wayne Dent Center.
Manny used to tell us about that.
Manny will tell you stories. And you know what? The next time you see Manny, you ask him about the takeoff to go see McNeese when we almost ran out of runway. So they said it was a heavy plane. Can't thank you enough, man.
Yeah.
You guys have made this season not just special for us, but every single fan. And we're primarily Brevard County, and we've taken our podcast, and you guys have helped us make this huge, event for us. They brought this out just for the Storm Report. They reached out to us and said, "Hey, will you guys do a show?" Tom's Watch Bar.
Yeah.
They set us up with giveaway tickets to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Nicole has made sure we had our tickets, and we have a buy one get one free ticket. So
you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't beat it. So we're doing our part to get people out to see you. Tell our audience why they need to come out and what makes this game so special from a player's perspective.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, any experience when you go to football, people love football because of the atmosphere you get, and we're in a really neat situation where we're in a soccer stadium. So you're closer than ever to the players on the field and stuff. So it's important to us because we feel that energy. We know we play better when we're around and surrounded by people that want us to win. And so it's super important. And we love the people that have been showing out, the Storm Faithful. I mean, it's been awesome. I think I was talking to you about it, about how it's crazy for me to hear in the national anthem people say Knights.
Yeah.
It's a tradition at UCF. So just being able to hear that, it's super surreal. And obviously, I just want nothing more than the team to get better and us to keep winning, and then obviously our fan base to keep coming out and showing out. So it'd be awesome.
Fantastic. Appreciate you coming out.
Thank you. And best of luck. Stay healthy.
Healthy the rest of the season, man.
Sam?
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic. Terry, I don't know. We have more guests hiding around the corner.
No, I think that's.
I thought to wrangle Zen in here because I think we owe him a big thank you for doing this, man.
Yeah, he's probably running around.
This has been fantastic. I mean, this is what you and I had dreams of, sitting in the studio and saying, hey, you know, one day you made this happen with Tom's Watch Bar, and here we are.
We're next to the one and only official press conference backdrop. So we want to thank our sponsors because we have to.
Yeah.
We're here because of great sponsorship. Robin Fisher has done a fantastic job. He's our first sponsor. Man. He stepped up when we had nothing to offer. Said, I believe in you guys, your friendship with him. And he said, I believe in you. I know this is going to be big. And he gave us our first sponsor, which spurred our next big sponsor. It gave me the courage to reach out. Toyota of Melbourne, we've got a ticket package for those guys. They're going to be coming out. Toyota of Melbourne sponsors are on the road, courtesy of Toyota of Melbourne. So a big shout out to Chris Hines and everybody at Toyota of Melbourne and Kenny Lopez. So we can't thank them enough. But we also want to thank Brandon, who very early on hooked us up.
He says, man, I'll get you the product, man.
So
our Zoa product here is courtesy of Zoa. And Junkless. Junkless is a neat story for us because they reached out to us. You know, they sent you an email and said, hey, we love what you're doing. We want to be a part of it. How can we get that product on the wall? And they sent us a case as well.
And then our unofficial mascot, man, this thing gets the attention. I mean, let's talk a little bit about this because there's nobody here today
that before we went on the air was not thoroughly impressed with this little item.
Yeah, we once again thank Tiana Cully for making this for us. This is an exclusive. This is a one-off. There's no other ones like this, so we definitely appreciate that. And have a lot of pizzazz, a lot of bling to it. And it's definitely getting a lot of attention. Even DJ Khaled like this.
DJ Khaled, he was impressed with that. He thought it had a little heft to it.
Yeah, so it was definitely great. It was definitely great to have this.
So, you know, we do want to highlight this because we just had a conversation that this is a showpiece.
Yeah.
So, you know, reach out to Tiana. If you guys got like and I'm going to turn this into a commercial real quick. I hope you don't mind. But this thing is so beautiful. But we'll leave Tiana's link in there. But if you need like a corporate trophy that's like no other that you've ever had, whether it's a football, I'm sure she can do other sports, you know, whatever you're into. Her work is incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, this, man, I'll tell you, if my company, you know, awarded me something like this, I mean, this,
you'll take it.
Yeah, this going right above on the mantle, man. So this is absolutely beautiful. So we can't thank her enough. And this has been a key feature for us and part of our identity.
Yeah, it definitely has. And for those that have not bought their tickets yet, we definitely highly encourage you to buy your tickets. They have a really good sale going on. Ron is definitely going to give more insight on how to do that. But after that, I need to ask about your predictions for tomorrow's game.
You know, I've made this prediction. I alluded earlier. I was a guest on a podcast of several people, and it was a spring football theme. I see Orlando winning, and everything changed with Tamu's injury.
Yeah.
I mean, that changed the entire scope of how things went. And he's out for the season.
Yeah.
You hate that for any player, especially a player as great as him. You want the best of you to play the best of them.
Course.
With that being said, I saw Orlando with a slight edge at home only because we're around these guys. And at Fort Hood, they were down but never out. Mm-hmm. And now that something's at stake, that they want that home field advantage, and they want to show out for who was at one time the best team in the entire UFL. I'm seeing a game, and my prediction's 24-17. I mean, I think it's going to be close, but these guys, man, they just blow it out at the end, So, and even last week, there's 6 points that potentially could have been 6 points more.
Yeah.
So I think the potential is really there, and I'm going to quote Coach Becht because he says these guys have yet to play their best game.
They haven't, and it's crazy because when you sounded off the score 24-17, that was actually that's going to be my prediction as well. So I guess we're thinking alike right now. So that's a good thing. If we win this 24-17, I'll take it because I tell people all the time it doesn't matter how you win, what column does it go into? And if we can get that win in the W column, there will be a great chance, and we will have that opportunity to host a home game for the Orlando Storm, an expansion team, nonetheless.
Exactly, and this momentum will carry forward to next year.
Yeah.
We kind of saw that. It's difficult to overcome. The Guardians with a record of it's hard to support a 1-19. It's hard to get those ticket sales.
Sure is.
But when you have a team that is the first inaugural year, and they're the first team in on the playoffs. But right now, Orlando controls the fate of at least two other teams.
Yes.
Because if Orlando can win the next two games, both Birmingham and Louisville, it's in their hands. They could potentially move in. So they need to win. So their eyes are firmly going to be on Orlando tomorrow night because an Orlando win is going to change the way both the pony shows play.
I tell you what, this is an exciting time for the UFL. This is what you want. You want all the drama. Very similar to how the NFL comes down to the last 2-3 weeks. This is what you're looking for. This is what you need. Some of those teams that were left for dead, now they have risen and they have an opportunity to be in the playoffs. And all they have to do is win and hope for a little luck here and there.
That's it. And I want to come back to Fort Hood and that unique experience that we had. And I'm not going to talk anymore about your incredible play you're calling all night long. Everything you talked about works. So, I do want to talk. Something came up this week, and like I said, I was a guest on another podcast, and they were talking about that neutral site venue.
Yeah.
And my thing is on the neutral site. I love the idea. I love that one game of being on a neutral site. I think they should go into potential expansion areas and do that as a test market. Pick those cities that you think could host those games.
I like that.
And go and play, on there. And that being said, I don't care how it's scheduled. But Birmingham and Louisville have to play the weekend of the Kentucky Derby. I mean, you gotta have something. You gotta have the horse race.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, I saw the pictures of the players when they had the opportunity to experience that. They absolutely loved it.
Right.
That's a once in a lifetime opportunity for some folks. So definitely,
but you gotta have that.
You have to have. It's almost like some teams have to play in a certain area because it's only tailored towards that.
Right.
So that horse race, like you mentioned before, it has to have.
Yeah, you got to have both the horse teams. But I'd love to see them, check out a neutral site. We've got the addition of Oklahoma coming, and this league has had such great success. And I said it earlier in the broadcast. It seems like this league has all the perfect people in the right positions. You and I have had that experience with every single person we have, whether it's a background, whether it's their personal experience. The UFL has done a great job of putting the appropriate person in the appropriate position. And that feeds off an ownership like Mike Rapoli, who is accessible. He's on the social medias. He comes up and shakes our hand and asks, he's fat. You guys speak Italian, so you got your own little code language. But you know, the fact that these, you know, the league itself is very healthy.
Yeah.
So and you know, it's going to move forward with all positives.
I definitely agree with that, and very well said. I couldn't have said it any better than that, Ron.
Fantastic. So for the Storm Report here at Tom's Watch Bar, our wonderful host, on behalf of the Orlando Storm, this is an Orlando Storm event. I mean, we were asked to cover an Orlando Storm event exclusively. Get your tickets. We're going to have those links. We've got them, tons of them on our Facebook page. Buy one, get one. Come out, support Jashaun if you're from Brevard County, man. These guys would love it. And I will make this promise to you. After the game, they will come up and say hi to you because your seats are going to be crazy good. Get down there. We'll make sure you guys get, you know, can get up close and throw your shout outs to these guys. So for Terry Spain, I'm Ron Lighthall, and thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful, wonderful Thursday night prior to a great game tomorrow. Thank you.